You cannot grow, heal, or awaken if you don't feel safe. If your nervous system is in survival mode, personal growth is impossible. So today we're talking about the kind of security a woman needs to finally come home to herself. Welcome to A Heart Called Home, Episode 2. In our first episode, we talked about radical self-responsibility, the understanding that we are not victims of our lives, but active participants in creating them, that whether consciously or unconsciously, we have co-created exactly where we are right now. And we talked about perspective, how one of the most powerful tools available to us is simply the way we see our lives. A shift in perspective can change everything. And it's one of the easiest things to work with when we're intentional. Today, we're going to take the next step. Because once we realize that we are responsible, once we realize that we can change, the next question becomes, what actually allows change to happen? And the answer is security. Before personal growth, before healing, before expansion, before awakening, there must be safety. Our most basic needs, food, water, shelter, physical safety, they have to be met first. Only then does the nervous system have the capacity to move beyond survival into creativity, reflection, and growth. If you're living in constant survival mode, like most women in our culture, your body is not interested in personal development. It's interested in staying alive. And this is especially true for us women. We are not designed to unfold our gifts in chaos. We women are not. We are designed to flourish in safety. This is beautiful, and I hope I don't lose you here. Stay with me. It's very important. So you can't expect life to thrive in a war zone. Yes, babies are born in war zones all the time. Humans are resilient. But does that sound ideal? Is that the environment where life grows most beautifully and fully? Of course it doesn't. Let's go back to the garden analogy from last time. Okay, I'm not a master gardener by any means, but I do remember planting seeds straight into the ground in early spring and thinking, yay, this is nature. It does its thing. You plant the seeds, you have the soil and whatnot. I looked at the seed packet, and according to my calendar, it's time to plant. But what I did not consider was the torrential rains in southeast Iowa, where I live, where I've learned to become a gardener. I didn't realize the winds that are involved as well. This is a terrible place for little seedlings to get started, especially for delicate things like peppers and tomatoes. So these tiny little seedlings, they're they're just trying to emerge, and they're getting absolutely pummeled. And honestly, it is amazing that anything did survive. I did get tomatoes and I did get some peppers, but this, typically you bring them inside and you grow them, you grow them as starts indoors where they have everything protected and safe in it. And then when they're strong enough, you go and plant them in the ground and then still baby them and cross your fingers. So and yet this is exactly how we treat ourselves. We are in this deep survival mode of we just got to hunker down. We just got to do this. We're like, oh my gosh, my nervous system is so fritzed and maxed out. Fritzed out. It's a new word. It's a new term. Let's go with it. And and yet, how are we supposed to get to this place of growth and development when we are being pummeled by the weather like these little seedlings? We expect deep growth, confidence, creativity, clarity, while our inner world is being battered by fear, instability, self-judgment, and pressure. We cannot grow like that. So, as women, safety is not optional. Our nervous system, our creativity, our intuition, our capacity to receive, super, super feminine, like that's like the heart of femininity is reception, receptivity, reception. Are you coming in clear? All of it depends on a felt sense of security. So when we do not feel safe, we contract. Oh man, I could just talk about birth right here. We, well, here's the thing. In birth, so step aside with me while we talk about this. In birth, when a woman is birthing naturally, the way that she should, because she feels protected and secure, that she's in her den of safety. It's quiet. It's maybe the lights are dim. Maybe there's no lights at all. Just a dim light. It's nice. Candles, whatever. That is where you're able to relax and allow the opening, an unfolding, and your cervix just blossoms. And here comes the baby, totally naturally, no pushing required, except if you have the beautiful fetal ejection reflex, which is where the baby just like it's like vomiting, but vomiting out a baby. It just comes out the other way. It's amazing. I have experienced this multiple times with my children and with my births of my children. Anyway, they're not old enough to bear children yet. So, but here you go, you bring a woman into a hospital with bright lights, lay her on a bed with her legs in the air, totally unnatural, physiologically not helpful. It's the worst position you could be in. Do you know why they put women on beds? So the doctors can see up their butts. That's why. That is why. Is it ideal for women? Does it help the baby come out better, safer, more natural? No, heck no. How criminal is that? All right. Anyway, so a woman then experiences all of this and her cervix, everything contracts. You could go to the hospital and you're like, oh, I think I'm having my baby. You could be dilated like 5 or 6 centimeters. You get there and they check you and like, oh, yeah, it's great, 5, 6 centimeters. And then you feel like all these people are like hooking you up to stuff, putting medication in you, doing all these things. And they're like, oh, ma'am, you're down to 3. You know what? You need a C-section. This isn't progressing. You're like, well, heck, really? No wonder I'm not progressing because you are not in a state of safety. You are in a state of fear. So, so that's what I have to say. Just briefly about birth but really it is simply about safety. We as women are designed to have safety created around us. We are not designed to be the safety for everything. We're gonna break that down because you might immediately hear that and say, hey, excuse me, I have issue with that. Hold on, we're gonna get there. It might be in a couple episodes, but I hope you stay along. Okay, so when we do not feel safe, we contract, just like our cervix naturally do when we are in a state of stress. And you know why they do? It's because it's not safe to birth here. It's not safe. You have a deer in the woods. They typically, animals will birth at night when it's quiet and it feels safer. I know you can like, well, what about night predators and all that stuff? Let's not go into all the details. The point is like we have dogs. They have birthed generally always in the evening. When it is quiet, the nervous system is settling down. It's time for sleep. The body relaxes. In my case, I have almost always gone into labor at night, right as it's about bedtime for my kids. It's like because my brilliant body says, you know what? Your job as a mama, your job in life is coming to a close. Let's go ahead and start bringing in this new baby. Let's just go ahead and do that. It's brilliant. The kids are in bed and I'm bringing forth the next sibling of theirs. And then I would go to bed and sleep through the night. It's beautiful. It's like we're designed that way or something. Okay. But we, as women, when we don't feel safe, we harden, we perform, we survive. When we feel safe, we soften, we open, we receive, and we create. I've got things, things are covered. Things are covered. Things are good. That beautiful sigh of I am safe. Our gifts cannot unfold in their full beauty without safety. So the question becomes, where does your sense of security actually live? Let's assume that most of us listening have our basic physical safety handled. We're not living on a median in the highway, in the middle of it, wondering if, sleeping in a tent, wondering if someone's going to fall asleep at a wheel and come and flatten our tent. So we're beyond physical safety and we're talking about something deeper. And I just have to say, I have such gratitude for being in a place where my physical safety is not something I'm concerned about. And I know that people deal with that. A lot of people deal with that. But I'm guessing that most of my listeners do have that part handled. Oh, what gratitude I have around that. So, beyond physical safety, we're talking about something that is deeper. Do I feel safe to be who I am? Do I feel held, supported by life? Do I trust something larger than myself? In my experience, and in the experience of many people that I've worked with, some form of trust in a higher power it's almost non-negotiable for deep personal growth. So you're welcome to disagree with me. I'm simply sharing what I've observed. But so with that, I have a friend. I have a friend who was a member of AA, and she told me that she was told that she needed a higher power. She was like, "Oh, I don't believe in a higher power. I don't believe in God." And they said, "Oh, that's fine. That's totally fine. You just make one up. So something bigger than you." She thought, I do love Madonna. Okay, Madonna's my higher power. Just yeah. And so she prayed to Madonna, and I even like the little like Catholic tie in there. If it could be the Madonna or just Madonna. And two pretty interesting women, for sure. But you know what? Because she chose something that she felt was higher than herself, and she just attached like that, I believe that there is something bigger than me that has my best at heart and in mind. That's what mattered. So it worked for her. I don't know if she's moved on from Madonna or not, but you go, girl. Because it doesn't matter who the higher power is, in my opinion. But at the same time, it's your choice, girl. Radical self-responsibility. You get to choose whether that's Jesus, Buddha, Allah, nature, the universe, your higher self. And let's talk about higher self for just a minute. I like to think of the higher self. And because it gets tossed around a lot in the woo-woo, feely-touchy kind of world. And we are here on Earth. And like we're a little avatar, a little game piece on a board. My kids love Candyland. So, well, my little kids love Candyland. My big kids dread it. So, like the gingerbread man or the ice cream cone, that is who you are. But it's you that's moving the piece. You are not that little piece of plastic shaped like an ice cream cone with a little sticker on top. That's not you. You are moving it. It's a representation. I mean, I think that's the definition of an avatar anyway. Your higher self is the part of you that it sees the whole board. It's the part that isn't panicking about this one little square that you're on. It's the part that knows where you're going and also understands that it's a game. that this is a game you have chosen to play, that you have somewhere up above before you came into this world decided, I'm going to engage. This is the path that I'm choosing for myself is to come down and to play this game. What a relief to know that is the game and that you got a whole lot more working with you than this tiny little piece of this tiny piece of plastic, us in our little human meat suits. We got a whole lot more going on above than just what's happening here on Earth. Whew, whew, what a relief. So when we access that perspective, we stop feeling alone inside our lives, and that creates safety. I mean, imagine you being that little ice cream cone, like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next? Got a double purple. I'm gonna get the X or land on the black dot and I'll have to go all the way back to start. Oh no, my life is gonna be ruined. It's like, it's a game. It's all right. You start over, and who knows, you might draw the peanut brittle or the ice cream bar. That was always one of my favorites. It's got you so far up there. And who doesn't love a good ice cream bar? Okay, so this brings me to one of my favorite concepts that I learned about a couple years ago, containment. Dr. Kelly Brogan talks about this idea, which she learned from Rupani. And containment is the ability to hold emotional and energetic experience, either for someone else or for ourselves. And the metaphor they use is polarity. So the masculine is the container, the structure, the box. The feminine is the water. The water without a container, it spills everywhere. It's a mess. It seeps, it evaporates, it dissipates, it splashes. It's just out of control. But when the water is held, it relaxes, it becomes all of itself. It is settled. It becomes powerful. I don't know how water becomes powerful, but the point is, do you understand the water is not everywhere? The water is contained. Okay, so I want you to do something with me. If you feel comfortable, if you feel led to join me, I would like you to imagine a big, strong container. You can make it whatever you want. For me, I always think of clear Tupperware. And think of yourself as water being poured into it and feeling completely held. You can even put a lid on it. You're not gonna splash around. You could shake that thing up. You could have all your big feelings, but you're contained. You're not gonna lose yourself. You are held. Take a couple deep breaths with me and feel that containment. Feel that safety. What does that do to your nervous system? Do you feel yourself settle down into like this, whoa, calm, serene state? That's called safety. It's also a place where you're able to surrender, and that we will be talking about later because that is a super key element of being an awakened woman, is being able to surrender. And what does that feel like? Okay. So, this containment is not optional for us as women. For us to really live fully and be whole, we need containment. It's fundamental. So here's the crucial piece. Our source of containment cannot solely be another human being because humans fail. We fail each other. Our spouses fail us. We fail them. We fail our children. They fail us. It's just it's just a part of who we are as we're trying to play this game, is that we're not always on top. We have the best intentions, and yet sometimes we fall flat. So if we put all of our all of our security in one other person, that is too much of a burden for anyone to bear. Instead, we need to choose something higher than ourselves to give us that sense of security. If I fall, will I be caught? Am I safe in my world? That's just that's a big one. Do you feel safe in your world? Because when we place the weight of our safety and security onto another person, it will eventually collapse. So we need to pick something bigger than us, something that will not fail. And I'm going to lovingly place that responsibility back into your hands. It is your work to discover what that is for you. And that's a beautiful thing to do, to find that, identify it, commit to it. Say, it is about perspective and your beliefs. What do I believe? Do I believe that the world is a scary, dangerous place and I live in fear constantly? There's a whole lot of people that feel that way. There's even people who do believe in God that still feel that way. And I think we all need to shift our perspective for something to create more joy and security for ourselves. Because what is God if not something that is love, that deeply cares for us, that wants the best for us? That's my perspective, but it's up to you to find what you identify is. Who is your Madonna? Anyway, that's a great thing to do this week. Sit in quiet, commit to like 5 minutes a day if you can, which we all can, heavens above. And even if that means like while you're driving, you're on your commute, you're driving somewhere, or you're driving to the grocery store, or you're driving to go pick up kids, and you have 5 minutes, turn off the podcast, turn off this podcast, turn off whatever, turn off the music, sit in quietness as you are, because you're going to be in your theta brainwave state. This is where your body's saying like, it's okay, I got this autopilot thing, I've got it taken over, and we're just driving, and we know exactly where we're going. We've driven this 1,000 times. And then your creative brain gets to start working. And it's then when you get, this is the perfect time for ideas and for intuition to open up and talk to us, for us to receive messages, for us to unravel the knots and let those ahas come in. This is a perfect time. Walking, going on a walk, that's perfect. You set your intention. Very important that you set your intention. And so set your intention. Say, I want to feel secure and I want to believe in something bigger than myself. I need help getting there. If you are struggling, you might already know, like, oh girl, I am so tight with God. Jesus and me, we are like, that's fantastic. You just go right past that point in the game and move along to the next thing. But this is a great time to set your intention, have some quiet time, focus on that, and come out with an answer. Be determined. And it's okay for it to evolve and to change, because guess what? You're going to evolve and change. So you just start somewhere. And on this journey together, you're going to understand, you're going to get to know your higher power better. You're going to develop a very beautiful, special relationship with it. And we'll be talking more about that as we dive into intuition, which is a very powerful thing that we as women are particularly gifted in, which, I mean, it's not to say anything that men aren't, but we have a little bit more of it. We have these senses, these extra senses, we women, that we're able to just like pick up on things and know what's happening. And we can't explain it other than it's just a gift. It's a gift that we have. All right. So here is my invitation to you for this week. I would love for you to explore. Where do I feel safe? What do I trust to hold me? What feels like it's always in my corner? Not what you were told to believe and not what you think you should believe just because everybody like, well, everybody talks about my higher self and whatever, or like the universe. Or, like, no, no, no. You get to figure it out. It's up to you. Girl, this is your life. You're creating it. So you get to create with your creator. What we want to identify is what actually will calm your nervous system as well. And I also invite you to explore the work of Neville Goddard and Florence Scovel Shinn. I'll link a few of their most popular works in the show notes. There's a YouTube channel called Master Key Society that reads metaphysical books aloud, which I just love this channel. It's free. So these books they're usually pretty short, a couple hours maybe, and they're very easy to listen to. They have excellent readers. And that's where a lot of the works of Neville Goddard and Florence Scovel Shinn are on that channel. But I also Wayne Dyer is another beautiful entry point. He actually has piggybacked on Neville Goddard's work, and I'll include links for him as well. But this is about discovering what belief system creates security inside you. So here's why this matters so much. Why is this number 2 for coming home to yourself? When you know that you are not carrying everything alone. When you trust that there is something larger working for you and with you, your nervous system relaxes. You don't have, oh, I have to do this all by myself. No, you get to exhale. And now your new life gets to be like, I am never alone. I am never alone. I am never isolated. I am never all by myself. I am not swinging in the wind. And that is power. That is your security. That is your containment. That allows you to fully be you, who you were designed to be, and to do it powerfully. So we have been, as women, indoctrinated into believing that we are small, insignificant, powerless, that we must strive and struggle and force life to work. We just gotta just shimmy it around and stuff it in and struggle and climb. And no, that is not your birthright as a woman. We were not meant to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. Some of us are very good and we have very strong shoulders because we have been doing that for years. But listen, as women, we are creators, nurturers, life bearers. This is not weakness. Holy moly. This is a different and profoundly powerful way of being. When we know where our security lies, we can finally leave survival behind. Oh, I remember when I was so worried about whether life would be okay. Yeah, it was so exhausting, wasn't it? Yeah. Now I trust life. I trust my higher power. I trust myself, my heavens above. Do you? Let's sit with that for a minute. Do you trust yourself? You might immediately hear voices in your head. You can even see faces of people saying it to you about how, oh, you're such a doof. Well, that's in my house, the boy language. Yeah, like, oh, you're so dumb. You make mistakes all the time. Well, all this blah, blah, blah. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Guess what? When you get aligned, when you get fully in alignment with yourself, who you are, your identity, and your purpose, you get to trust yourself. Actually, just start there. Say, you know what? Yeah, I make mistakes. I'll probably make some more. But guess what? I am the best judge of what's right for me. And I choose to trust myself. I don't have to go looking around like, is it okay if I do that? What do you think? Do you think I should? Do I have your permission? Oh, Thank you. Like, no, you don't need anybody's permission for anything. This is your life. You get to be the boss of it, of you. You are responsible for yourself. Don't put that responsibility on somebody else. They're not responsible for you. You're a grown woman. I'm a grown woman. Who's responsible for me? I'm responsible for myself. Now, that is not to say when you are in partnership and you have mutually joined together, this is for that other topic, for coming home to your marriage, that you both have responsibility to each other. And there is a beautiful part of the feminine masculine dynamic that works better than you both pretending you're the same thing. And we will talk about that. But as far as who is responsible for your inner life and all of that, this is you. It's beautiful. So this is the place that I would love for you to be able to operate from. Faith, trust, peace, security. This is coming home. That just feels good. So this is where we're going to pause for today. But in the next episode, we're going to talk about what it truly means to be a woman and how consciously you can step into your womanhood in a way that is grounded, powerful, and deeply aligned with who you are. This is where everything begins to click. Thank you so much for joining me today. If today's conversation stirred something in you, I'd love to stay connected. The very best place to find me and to really be a part of what we're building is on Substack. That's where I share my weekly letters, the behind the scenes of our family life, and the deeper teachings that I can't always fit into the podcast. So you can join me at wholewomanawakening.substack.com. And if you're listening on a podcast app, following the show helps more women find these conversations. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for being part of this awakening.